This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
They are still short of drivers, but the buses are running again for Indianapolis Public Schools. The wheels are turning as talks continue with the bus drivers union over the outsourcing of their jobs. Today, IPS says 32 drivers and bus attendants called off, about 1/3 of the number that called off without warning on Friday. That means the school district still had plenty of drivers and attendants to get to the more than 22,000 students who needed to go to school. IPS says there were delays for some routes this morning, and there will be again this afternoon as some drivers have to pull extra duty. The superintendent tells us they had a plan in place for today, had more drivers called out, but she is grateful for the community helping out last Friday when 18,000 students ended up staying home.
You know, I'm thankful for our families who have, been patient with us as we've sorted through this today. I'm happy that students are able to be at school today. And so, gratitude to our families in our community and those folks who were able to and willing to pitch in when needed on Friday.
The union that represents bus drivers says it does not support drivers calling in to protest IPS's decision to outsource transportation operations next school year. The IPS board already voted to give that work to the company first student beginning this fall. We have much more on the IPS Bussing situation right now at the IndyChannel.com, and our coverage continues tonight on the news at 5 and 6 o'clock. Taking a turn now, however, we want to check in on the weather. Alyssa, those students that stood out at the bus stop this morning, they were standing in some rain. However, when they head home, it will be a different scene.
That's right. So we are seeing some foggy conditions right now, and that rain has moved out. As we head into the afternoon and evening, things are going to be quiet. However, still seeing some of that patchy fog across the area that's developed. By this afternoon, temperatures will be into the low 50s, and we are going to see maybe a peak of sunshine here and there. Right now, 50 degrees in Indianapolis, still in the 40s for areas to the south, 51 in Bloomington. There's those areas of fog I was talking about. We're down to just 2 miles of visibility in Indianapolis right now, just over 1.5 miles in Muncie. That is going to stick with us into the early afternoon before we start to see that really taper off this evening. Still seeing a few lingering showers from this cold front as it moves through. All of that is to the south of Seymour along I-65, so most of it is out of our area. As we head into the afternoon, we are just going to continue with those cloudy skies, maybe a little peak of sunshine here and there, but then we have another system coming in behind that. That's going to bring us some chances of showers overnight tonight and into your Tuesday morning. That is mostly going to stay just to the south of Indianapolis, but can't rule out seeing maybe a stray shower in Indy as we head overnight. Taking a look at the afternoon, temperatures are really as warm as they're going to be today in the low 50s. Then we'll start to drop into the 40s by this evening.
Alyssa, thank you. Thousands of people across the country are being monitored for possible exposure to the coronavirus that causes the disease known as COVID-19. So far, 2 deaths in the U.S. have been tied to the virus, both of them in Washington state. There have been no cases reported in Indiana so far, but health experts are concerned about a report showing the virus may have gone undetected in Washington state for at least 6 weeks. On Capitol Hill, Vice President Mike Pence is urging calm as he leads the president's task force on the virus. But Democrats say Republicans move too slowly and sometimes contradict the government's own health experts.
We could have more sad news, but the American people should know the risk for the average American remains low.
Best way to deal with something like this is let the public gain full knowledge and all hands on deck.
Congress is still working on an emergency spending bill to deal with that virus. New this midday at the State House, a Republican lawmaker may push for a rule that could bar State Attorney General Curtis Hill from running for re-election this year. Hill is waiting to hear if the state Supreme Court will uphold a proposed 60-day suspension of his law license over allegations that he sexually assaulted a state lawmaker and 3 other women back in 2018. Today, an amendment to an elections bill filed by Representative Tim Wesco would bar his fellow Republican from serving as Attorney General if he is suspended from the bar for 30 days or more. The amendment also would bar Hill from running again for office. Super Tuesday is a lot tighter now in the race for the White House. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg was one of 2 candidates to drop out of the race following South Carolina's Democratic primary on Saturday. ABC's Serena Marshall tells us it's setting up contests in 14 states tomorrow that could leave only 2 people standing when the voting is done.
one more candidate bowing out of the race for the White House.
I will no longer seek to be the 2020 Democratic nominee for president, but I will do everything in my power to ensure that we have a new Democratic president come January.
Pete Buttigieg suspending his campaign after the former Vice President Joe Biden pulled off a commanding win in South Carolina, carrying the Palmetto State by nearly 30 points.
The press and the pundits declared my candidacy dead. Now, thanks to the heart of the Democratic Party in South Carolina, I'm very much alive.
While 6 candidates officially remain in the race, Biden battling it out in the 14 states that head to the polls tomorrow, facing an uphill climb against the delegate leader, Bernie Sanders, who spent far more money in states like California and Texas, where he leads in the polls and argues old-fashioned politics won't beat Donald Trump in November.
You talking about Joe Biden?
I could be. Yes, I am.
Tulsi Gabbard, Amy Klobuchar, and Elizabeth Warren still all officially in the race. And the wild card, Michael Bloomberg, speaking at a pro-Israel conference in D.C.
Israel is small, we know, but resilient and surrounded by adversaries. And if you caught the last couple of presidential debates, you know that I can empathize.
He's already broken every spending record, but Tuesday becomes his first time on the ballot, facing the voters.
So far, Biden has received the most total votes, but Sanders remains the delegate leader. Come tomorrow, a third of total delegates in this race will be awarded, which means we could see this Democratic field whittled down even more. In Washington, Serena Marshall, ABC News.
Super Tuesday is next for the Democratic candidates, but what's next for Pete Buttigieg now that he's out of the race? Our political insiders are here again to weigh in. Democrat Kip 2, conservative commentator Abdul Hakim Shabazz, excuse me.
My wife's called me worse this morning, so don't feel bad.
Well, let's first take a look at the Buttigieg campaign. Historic, nonetheless, even though he is now out of the race. What do we think is next for the former mayor?
Well, the buzz in the State House this morning, among Democrats at least, was an effort to potentially draft him into the gubernatorial race. I think that would shake things up in the state of Indiana to a great degree. It's a difficult thing. There's Woody Myers is going to be our nominee. He's the only person on the ballot. He would have to step aside for Pete, but it's a possibility, and I think it's something that would lead to a very interesting fall campaign.
It would be a disaster for Democrats to ask Dr. Woody Myers, who did all the work, got all the signatures, to step down and put Pete Buttigieg in his place, but particularly because Dr. Woody Myers is African American.
He can't even do that.
Yes, also because Dr. Woody Myers is an African American, and Pete Buttigieg, rightly or wrongly, has had trouble connecting with African Americans. So do you really want to put Pete Buttigieg on the ballot by making sure the black guy gets off the ballot? That would be a political disaster for Democrats.
They're already spinning their silver. They're already spinning their silver.
What about the possibility? I saw some people predicting that maybe Biden said to Buttigieg, step down and I will make you my VP candidate. Do you think that's a possibility at all, or is that very far-fetched?
It's a possibility. They didn't have that conversation. I'm 100% sure that conversation did not occur. I think Pete made his judgment based upon how he did in South Carolina. And look, Joe Biden's got to win the nomination first before he can think about those types of things. And it's not a given he's going to win because Bernie Sanders is out there and in the lead. Okay. And speaking of Bernie Sanders being in the lead, what do we think is going to happen on Super Tuesday?
It's interesting. Nate Silver did an analysis of the 538 blog of all the states in Super Tuesday. Joe Biden wins in those southern states, more traditional Democratic. Bernie Sanders wins further up north and out west. So we could have a situation after all this is said and done that we're almost kind of right back where we started because they all sort of even out and where they get in both votes and delegates.
One of the keys is California and how many votes the other folks get. If nobody reaches a 15% threshold, then Bernie cleans up and it'll be hard to beat him going forward. And so actually Democrats who don't want Bernie are rooting for several candidates to get 15% in California. It's a little complicated, but it's how the delegate math adds up.
Okay. All right, fellas. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you, and we'll see you again soon for more Political Insiders.
Thank you.
It is political season, and that means your phone might be ringing at this very moment asking for your vote. But coming up, we'll tell you about some scammers who are out there asking for a lot more than that. And she was one of the most powerful members of the previous administration in the White House. Next, find out where you can see her in Indianapolis just a few hours from now.
And we started our week with some showers this morning. A lot of those have diminished. However, we're going to see more chances of showers as we head into the evening. All of those details coming up.
General Hospital, this week on ABC.
RTV6 is a proud partner of the Steward Speakers Lecture Series. It continues tonight with a very special guest in town, Susan Rice, long a key member of the administration of former President Obama. Tracy Boyd is the vice chair of the Steward Speakers Board and is here to tell us all about it. So for those at home who aren't familiar with the Speaker Series, tell us a little bit about the people that come and speak at this.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks so much for having us here to represent the board. We've been able to bring luminaries for the last 30+ years, and we're excited about the conversation tonight. We're able to engage intimate conversations. We're able to engage very important and wisdom conversations. We had an entertainer last week in the like of Ricky Smiley, and so tonight, as we kick off and celebrate Women's Month, we're excited to have such a piece of history here with us tonight to celebrate Women's Month.
Absolutely. What are some of the topics that Susan is going to touch on?
Well, of course, she'll talk a little bit about her leadership in the Obama administration. Recently, she penned a book, Tough Love, so we're excited to hear what she has to say and what inspired her to write this book. We were able to gather in the community and do a book review, and that was very exciting also. So I'm sure those will be some of the topics that we cover. I imagine she will discuss a little bit about her family and personal life too.
Wonderful. Only about 30 seconds left. Very quickly, where can people get tickets? How can people come out to enjoy this experience?
Thank you for the question. They can come out to IUPUI tonight. There are lecture-only tickets available, and we hope that they'll come out and join the conversation. And our last lecture is scheduled for May 2020.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Visit us at kaplingersfreshcatch.com.
I'm Ted Rollins. Today on Court TV, jury selection begins in a Florida death penalty case that investigators say started with a dating app. Adam Hillary, a 27-year-old amateur boxer, connected on the app Plenty of Fish with an 18-year-old woman by the name of Haley Bustos. But investigators say it was all a setup. Haley wasn't looking for love. She was working with a group of men, including Andre Warner. After going on a first date, investigators say the group showed up at Adam Hillary's apartment to steal his belongings. Hillary ended up dead. Andre Warner, the alleged trigger man, now on trial. We're also following the Lori Vallow investigation. The mother, whose 2 children haven't been seen since September, is being transported to Idaho to face charges of child endangerment. Her husband told ABC News over the weekend that the kids were, quote, safe. We'll have complete coverage of both cases, plus more legal news from around the country throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
You can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at courttv.com. It's time now for another RTV6 Consumer Alert. I'm joined by the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. And Tim, we are in the heart of political season, and that means politicians are making phone calls, trying to win over your vote. Now, scammers are taking advantage of that and also trying to get your money.
Right. As you said, it's the political season, and there's going to be a lot of solicitations out there to give money to either your favorite candidate or maybe some sort of cause out there that you feel very, very strongly about. Scammers are taking advantage of that, so be very, very careful of these unsolicited, a lot of robocalls. You're going to get a recording. It's going to sound like the candidate, and they're going to say, hey, really need your support in order to win the office. You're going to get then switched over to a live person. They're going to ask for your credit card, get your money. A lot of people want to participate in the political process, want their candidate to be elected, give some money to them. Great thing. That's what America's all about. But be careful that you're really giving your money to the candidate and it's not going someplace that is not involved in the political process. So you want to check these out. You want to verify that the person is really working for the candidate. Go to their website, make certain that you can give that way. Once again, they're trying to get you to give money right away. They're saying, hey, we really need it because our candidate needs to get on TV and needs to advertise more. So just be very, very careful of these sort of unsolicited calls, because once again, the scammers know that it's political season. People want their candidate to be elected, and a lot of that money is going to get funneled not to where you want it to go.
Yeah, something great to keep in mind throughout the election season. Tim, thanks so much. This has been another RTV6 Consumer Alert. We're taking a live look right now from the IMS Pagoda. Some cloud cover out there, but the rain has moved out. Alyssa, are we going to see anything else precipitation-wise later today?
You know what? Unfortunately, we have a chance. It's a small chance as we head overnight. So a lot of us, if we do see that rain tonight, it'll be while you're sleeping. That's the good news. And then we are going to see a really nice week ahead. However, right now, it doesn't look so nice outside. That is our downtown north view camera on your TV. You can hardly tell, but that's because we have that fog that's moved into the area. Temperature is feeling pretty nice outside, though. 50 degrees right now in Indianapolis, but you can see those winds out of the southwest about 15 miles per hour. You'll notice a little breeze. However, that's not impacting the fog. We are continuing to see that develop, and that's going to stick with us over the next couple hours here. We're down to just 2 miles of visibility in Indianapolis, down to just 1.5 miles up in Peru. So we have that moisture in the air mixed with that warm air, and that's why we are starting to see some of that fog develop just as the system continues to move out of the area. So we do have just a few lingering showers. They are extremely south, though, right now, just to the south of Seymour along I-65. So we are pretty much in the clear for the afternoon. As we head into the late afternoon hours, that's when we're going to see maybe a stray shower as we see another system moving in. So what's going on is we had that cold front move through, and we're going to be left with these cloudy conditions. That's helping sock in a lot of that fog as well. And then we're going to see a brief break between systems where we could see maybe a peak of sunshine, especially for northwest counties later this afternoon, before we start to see that next system come in. A low pressure system approaches, just bringing us a small chance of a stray shower this evening. Better chance of showers overnight, but you can see that line is really from I-70 to the south. Those are the areas that we're looking at seeing that potential of rainfall overnight tonight and into your Tuesday morning. Just a chance. We'll see that reach Indianapolis. Looks like at this point a lot of that's going to stay pretty far south. Could see some showers for your Tuesday morning, and then we have high pressure building in behind that. What that's going to do is clear out a lot of these precipitation chances. We're going to see dry conditions, and we're going to see some warming. So today we're in the low 50s. Tomorrow a little bit warmer into the mid 50s, and that's where we're really staying for much of the work week. We'll only drop back down to average by Friday, and average this time of year, mid 40s, so still going to feel pretty nice out. As we head into the afternoon, we're going to stay in the low 50s before we start to drop to 50 degrees by 5 p.m. That's when we could see some peaks of sunshine as well. Overnight lows tonight will be into the 40s, so not even dropping off too much with those temperatures. Today, 52 for our high, which we're hitting right about now. Those rain showers have diminished, and we're going to see most of those rain showers overnight again for southern counties for the most part. 55 for our high on Tuesday. I should mention Tuesday is also going to be a bit of a breezy day. We're going to see those wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour for your Tuesday. Besides that, though, it's going to be a beautiful day, mostly sunny skies, and that's really going to kick us off a great forecast for the rest of the week with above average temperatures and plenty of sunshine. You really can't ask for a better forecast.
You can't. Alyssa, thank you very much. We've got a little bit more coming up here after the break. Stick with us. She has been a staple of daytime television for what seems like forever, including many years here on RTV6, but now an era is about to end. This fall season of Judge Judy will be the show's last. Judy Shineland is making the official announcement today. It will be Judge Judy's 25th season. But if you're a fan, do not worry. Shineland says she isn't retiring. She says she is now working on a new show called Judy Justice with a new syndication company that she hopes to premiere sometime after Judge Judy ends its run in 2021. All right, let's get one last check of our weather.
And we are seeing just some foggy conditions outside right now, a little bit of mist hanging around as well. We have a lot of moisture in the air. Highs today in the low 50s, which we're hitting about right now. As we head into the overnight hours, chance of some showers mainly for southern counties, but we can't rule out seeing maybe a quick shower around Indianapolis overnight and into early Tuesday morning. But the rest of the week, we are in good shape. We're going to be above average, about 10 degrees above average with mostly sunny skies, back into the 40s by Friday.
All right, I do not object to that forecast, Alyssa. Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope to see you back here at 5. Have a great Monday afternoon.